Welcome to the next segment. Get to know an OVC staffer. Today we have Heather Brown, Director of Media Relations. Heather, briefly just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, where you went to college.
Well, I grew up in Ohio. I was born and raised in Ohio. I grew up in a small town of West Liberty, which is about an hour west of Columbus. I went to Bowling Green State University for my undergrad, and I graduated in 2003 and moved down to Tennessee. And that's pretty much it.
One of the things you've helped OVC get started is to jump into the social media craze. Tell us about some of the things the league has done with Facebook and Twitter and the importance behind them.
Well, I think it's a great thing to do for us, especially because we're a smaller conference, and it's free. And it gets to gets information out to our fans. I just think it's a really great thing for us to jump on board, and it's a interactive way to get into the fans.
This is now your 6th year through OVC, making you the longest tenured employee. You're also the youngest employee. Tell us a little bit about what you like working at the OVC and what's kept you here so long.
Well, I really enjoy the family atmosphere of the OVC, where I've worked with 2 close-knit groups of people, and like I said, it's a smaller conference. I get to do more than just my Director of Media Relations job duties. So I get my hands on a lot of different things. So that's one of the things I like the best about working at the OVC. And plus it's in Nashville, so.
We're kind of playing off that question. You're a native Ohioan, and now you call Nashville home. What are some of the best things about living in Music City?
I really like the music scene. I've gotten to see a lot of different small country acts and other different music, so that's one of the things I really like. It's a smaller city, but it has... it is a city. I didn't grow up in a city, so it's nice to live here, but it's smaller, so it's not too big for me.
All right. You can have dinner with any 2 famous people in the world. Who and why?
I'm going to get made so much fun out for this answer, but the first one would be Mike Piazza. I've loved him forever. He's pretty much probably the reason I got into sports, which sounds really cheesy, but it is. And the other one is Donnie Wahlberg. I've loved him since I was 8 years old, so... those would be my 2.
What is one thing that you could not live without for one day?
My cell phone. There's no way I could go without my cell phone, and soon I'll be getting a BlackBerry, so I'll be even more excited about that. But it's my connection to my family, so that's really important to me.
What is one thing that you haven't done yet in your life that you'd like to do before you die? A bucket list item.
There's probably a couple I can think of. I would really, really like to go to the Super Bowl. Preferably if the Cleveland Browns would ever make it, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And I'd also like to see a baseball game in Wrigley Field and Fenway Park.
Last question, a user-submitted question. You have several favorite sports teams, the Cincinnati Reds, the Cleveland Browns, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. If you had to pick just one to be your favorite, which one would that be?
That is a great question, because I'm not sure if I could pick just one, but I probably would think the Cleveland Browns, because back in the day, that it was so great to watch them before they moved to Baltimore. But that would probably be it, because I just equate a lot of good things with the Browns. So.
Well, Heather, thanks for joining us on Get to Know an OVC Staffer.
No problem.